What up, unicorns? Eric Abram here. Today I'm going to be giving you a little video talking about what makes a good product designer. Like, what are some things that I, Eric Abram, kind of look for when I'm looking to want to hire someone or have somebody come onto the team and help out, etc., etc. Like, what are some things that I kind of look for as far as like what would make a good product designer, what would make a good person on my team or UX designer? There's so many names, so many variants, so many different names. It's hard to just pick one, but we're gonna go with product designer because that's what I am. I'm a senior product designer, and so I want to give you my 10 things. This list is in like no particular order. I literally just wrote these down on my iPhone, so I'm gonna just walk through these and just maybe you guys agree with these, maybe you guys don't agree with these. You know, who knows? Who knows? It's up for debate. So you have a better list. You like my list? Cool. You don't like my list? Cool. Comment below, man. I like the interaction. Just comment below, and then we'll see how it goes. But anyways, here's my 10. In no particular order of importance or high level. Like, these are just overall. So number one for me, places value in research. I like to work with people who like really understand research, really understand the value in having research, and really trying to understand how we can make products better for our users and make products good for the business as well. And so just coming up and just designing things without understanding the user needs or understanding the business needs and pain points, etc., you're kind of not really doing UX design. You're not really doing really like good design, because where are you getting that information from? You just basing off your expertise or your history. It's not based on you. It's based on the user. That's why I like to work with people who like really value research and really understand it and really can apply it as well, and use it as a way to really get their ideas out, really try to like convince people to understand like this is the reason why we're doing X, Y, and Z, because we have actual data. So number 2, someone who can really create pixel perfect design, pixel perfect mocks. Like, I like that a lot. It's not because I'm a designer, actually it is. It's because I am a designer, and I really do enjoy people who can really make pixel perfect design mocks. And I think that's kind of important, because you have to have a pixel perfect mock mindset. So when you go out and like deliver these, when you go out and you start working with developers and you start, interacting with them, bringing them on board and trying to really go through your idea, they're going to want to know how much spacing in between this particular item, this particular component, et cetera, because they want to build what you made to spec. They want to get as close as possible. In order for them to do that, they have to know like what's the spacing between this button and this paragraph, or how big is this and how big is that component. So someone who can really understand and really understands how to create pixel perfect mocks and understands the core of like 4 pixel or 8 pixel base grid style, it goes a long way, man. Like, I really do enjoy that. And that's one thing that you guys probably should work on, is getting your designs pixel perfect. And not only that, understanding, design and color theory. That's just a whole other topic, but that's number 2. All right, so number 3, someone who wants feedback from others. The reason why I say this is because you can't design in a vacuum. You can't design alone. You have to like bring in different people, et cetera, et cetera. So you need to be able to, receive feedback and accept that, some things are good and some things are bad. And I want to work with somebody who wants that feedback, who wants to get better, who wants to make their designs better, because they're not designing this application or this web tool for themselves to put in their portfolio. That's a graphic design mindset. But when you're designing these tools for other users, that's a different mindset. You have to think beyond yourself a little bit. We don't want to get too married to design or whatever. We have some appreciation for it, etc. But at the end of the day, it's not for you. You're just the designer. You're just the painter. You're just the architect. You're the person designing the product for other people so they can actually use it and want to use it and it's functional for them. So that's my number 3. And also someone who challenges feedback. I like to work with somebody who really has, that challenges ideas, who really understands, the good, the bad, what works and what doesn't work, and really challenges ideas and not just roll over and die and say like, yeah, I'll do that, XYZ person, we can do it, etc. Like, I don't want to work with someone like that. I want to work with someone who can really like challenge an idea and say, like, hey, have you thought about this? Why are we doing this? Etc. etc. Versus somebody who's just an order taker doing burgers and fries. Like, yeah, you want fries? You want a burger? Okay, do you want to make it a combo? Like, we don't want to be order takers, right? We don't want to work at McDonald's. That's why we come into this field. We want to be thought leaders in our spaces. We want to be looked at as professionals and people who really know what they're doing. So in order to do that, you have to challenge ideas. You have to challenge the status quo. I don't care if the CEO comes in and wants to do X, Y, and Z. Like, you need to challenge that because you should know more about the user than he does. Because he's working on the business and getting everything going and keeping you employed, et cetera, et cetera. But at the same time, you need to know enough about what you do in your user base to create an application that really works well. And also, challenge the feedback from others who try to come in and have good ideas or have bad ideas, and how do you mesh those things together and make it work. Number 5 kind of goes back into a whole thing that everybody has to do: collaboration. Someone who can really work with other designers. As sometimes as designers, we get into our own feelings. We get in our own modes, and like we think that what we do is really good. We don't really want feedback from other designers because other designers might have a different way of doing it. You don't want to like impede the process, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end of the day, this goes back into the feedback type deal. Working with other designers can really help open your eyes to different things, because maybe you work with another designer that's really, really strong in visual design, really, really strong in a certain component of design. And, if you go to them, they're going to like really help you out with like refinement. So being able to work with other designers, not only to just ping ideas off of, which is really important, but also to help you with like the refinement of it, to really dial it in, to really make this thing pixel perfect, make this application or web tool really great. And working together really does help you get through that. And also it can really streamline the process and make things go a little bit quicker. So also working with other designers can really help like just design the app out, so that way you're not like doing it alone, et cetera, et cetera. So I really like to work with people who can really work with other designers. This is the whole thing about working with stakeholders and PMs. We can talk about that later. But working with other designers is also important because I'm a designer. How do you work, etc. All right, cool. Number 6, someone who can present their ideas in a clear way. I want to work with someone that can really, really, really get their ideas across. You don't babble and fumble and do this and do that. Someone who's very clear and concise, and is very convincing and very confident. And I think that's really big. I said to put confidence there, but someone who can present their ideas in a clear, concise, confident way goes a really long way with me, because that's what I like to do when I'm presenting. I try to take control, try to take reins of the conversation and really drive it home, and really just try to like, narrow it down to like, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about this. Here's the idea. This is this, and this. So someone can come in and really get their thoughts out kind of clear can really help the team grow as well. Because, if someone, as XYZ person is a really good, presenter, like, hey, if we want to get our idea out, we want to give it to John, because John can really nail it home for us. So that's what I like to do. And that person can really help uplift the team as well. But maybe they can bring a little bit of coaching to be like, hey man, next time when you present, try to do this, and this. So that's something that I like to look for. All right, number 7, someone who's organized. You would be surprised how unorganized some designers are. Have you ever opened a Photoshop file with the layers unnamed? Yes, I'm guilty of it. I still do it to this day when I'm working in Figma or whatever. It's very loose. But this just goes to file structure. But like someone who's organized and like documentation and how they really organize, how they deliver and how they talk and like different things like that. If you come to them and say like, hey, what's the process? They have a clear process. Someone who's very organized as a UX designer, someone who really knows what they're doing, someone who really understands design, everything like that. So organization goes a long way. Not just organize, in their home life or whatever, but actually organize into a way to where you could probably have that process be repeated, and people can look at you like, hey, I like how so and so does this and this and this. I'm going to try that. Even like presenting and like when you're like designing at your workshops, how organized are your workshops? Do you have things clearly labeled? Do you got things in the clear particular place? So just really think about that. So someone who's very organized, and also someone who has. This goes to my number 8. This kind of goes into being organized, but number 8 is someone who has a clear, teachable process. I mean, someone who really has their process nailed down to where they're able to actually go out and teach that process to other people on the team. So maybe they can like use that process as a base, as a structure point that the whole team can use. So having a clear process in how you go about doing your design work, go about how you deliver, how you work with PMs, how you do everything. Having a clear UX design process is very helpful because it's very important. You have to have some process. If you're just going out being unorganized and just doing things off the wall, it's not very helpful. So number 8 is someone who has a clear, teachable process. When I say process, I mean UX process. All right, number 9, we're getting pretty close. Number 9, someone who considers the user every step of the way. You'd be surprised how many designers don't consider, the actual user in the process. They want to go out, they want to do this particular feature, they want to go out and do this particular thing, they want to change this button color, they want to do this and that, but they're not really thinking about the user and what the user actually wants and how the user is going to actually perceive what they're trying to do. So if you're going out, you want to change, this button color to this, but are you really considering people who are visually impaired? Are they going to be able to see this button? Are they clearly, does this button have enough contrast in order to distinguish between the two different types of, styles of buttons that you have, a primary or a secondary button or a tertiary button, et cetera, et cetera. So really understanding, what the users want and need at the end of the day. Like, are you including your users when you're thinking about the product? Are you including your users when you go to the business? Are you including your users when you're doing your initial research, et cetera, et cetera? Like, that's why it's called user experience. Duh. So include the user. So that's what I look for. Someone who always is including the user. Yes, we want to include the business at the end of the day too, but the users who are the ones who bring the money in, who pay the business, who also pay us. So therefore, you keep your users happy, keep the business happy, and you stay employed. Duh. All right, so my last one, last but not least, number 10. Someone who involves the stakeholders, PMs, devs, early and often. I talk about this a lot. Including your users, your PMs, your devs, etc., early and often in the process would only make the work that you do a lot easier, a lot simpler, and a lot less friction points. Because the last thing you want to do is go off in a hole, your little creepy cave, and start doing design work and emerge from the abyss like, I have the design, I have the precious. You don't want that, man, because the last thing you want to do is bring a precious out and nobody likes your precious. So don't do that, man. Include these people early and often in the process, and things will go a lot smoother for you. I'm telling you, it works. I've seen it done. I've seen it not done. And the outcome is it's less friction points. It's less of a headache. All right, guys, that's been the video. I really appreciate you following along in these top 10 things that I kind of look for when I'm looking to kind of understanding what makes a really good product designer. And also in this list, I'm taking into consideration things that I look for as far as people that I want to work with as well. So what really makes a good product designer. So these are the 10 things. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, it's my list, and you can take that with a grain of salt. If you have your own list, you don't agree with the list, etc., comment below. I don't agree with you, or I think you should swap out the 1 and 3, or whatever the heck you want to do. It's all good. It's my list. Take it with a grain of salt. It's not the gold standard. It's just my standard. But anyways, guys, that's been the video. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification on the YouTube video. So therefore, you get these videos when they pop out, when they come popping. The video's out. He got a video up. How do you know that? Could you turn on the bell notification, you subscribe, and you like the video? Don't forget to do that. Because when you like the video, man, other people get to see it. That's how the algorithm works, bruh. It takes people liking it to show other people who might like it. I don't know. It just makes sense. But that's how this game works. And I want to play the game well. I don't really play games, but I'll play this one straight up. But anyways, another thing is, if you want to get more exclusive content, and you want to get more access to me, go to the Patreon. Go to patreon.com/uglyunicorns. Sign up to become a patron. I really got some really exclusive content that I will not be posting on YouTube there. Things that you will not be able to see anywhere on the internet, either on my computer or they're on Patreon. You can't get to them. Also, there's a private Discord there, so you want to go in there, have a chat, have a conversation. You can do that as well. So therefore, go to patreon.com/uglyunicorns. Get the exclusive content. Get the whiteboard challenge template. Get how I do the whiteboard challenge video. I'm actually working on that. So basically, how to execute a whiteboard challenge. I'm working on that video currently. Gonna be posting it there on the Patreon. You're gonna learn things about. You're gonna learn more things about me that I will not be posting on the YouTube, because I want to put things out there, but I can't put things out there for everybody to see. Right? What else? What else am I working on? Yeah, don't forget to go to uglyunicorns.com. If you guys want to book a session with me, either that's an hour or 30 minutes, you just want to chat, you want me to look at your portfolio, want me to help you with a whiteboard challenge, different things like that, go to uglyunicorns.com, book a session there, put it on my calendar. We can link up and I can help you guys out. Anyways, guys, that's been a video. Really appreciate you for following along. Thank you so much. I hope you really enjoyed the 10. Might be another 10 coming out soon. Anyway, guys, have a good one. Peace. Oh yeah, I forgot. Don't just be a unicorn. Be an ugly unicorn. All right.